Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia passed away over the weekend. Find out how Congress is reacting to the news.
And tensions are high in Syria after an attack on a hospital leaves 22 people dead.
And Citrus TV reporter Rob Romano takes a look inside the new SAT, what that means for incoming college students.
And freezing temperatures have been taking over the region. Weather anchor Rebecca Castor tells you how long these temperatures are staying. Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Josh Bazan.
And I'm Katherine Robinson. We start things off tonight with Senator Chuck Schumer's visit to campus today. New York Senator Chuck Schumer was on the SU campus today to discuss his new legislation. The RED Act, which stands for Reducing Educational Debt, contains 3 proposals. The proposal would make 2 years of community college tuition-free, allow borrowers to refinance student loans at a lower rate, and ensure Pell Grants keep pace with rising costs.
Saving interest on student loans, making 2-year college free, increasing Pell Grants, and getting the cost of tuition down. Those are our 4 points, and we're just starting there. We pass that, we'll go on to the next phase.
Syracuse welcomed another esteemed speaker earlier today. Professor Shane Greenstein of the Harvard Business School spoke to students and the community about the commercialization of the internet. Greenstein has been recognized for his detailed work on the processes that have shaped the internet we know today.
And Syracuse is hosting several events on campus to celebrate Black History Month. The events range from dance workshops to material displays, and the Office of Multicultural Affairs says this celebration is shaping up to be Syracuse's best one yet. Next on the list is an Agents of Change film screening this coming Wednesday at the Community Folk Arts Center.
The ACT and SAT are high schoolers' least favorite acronyms. But one of these tests is trying to become less about expensive tutoring and more about what students are learning in school. Citrus TV reporter Rob Romano has more about how changes to the SAT are affecting high schoolers here in Central New York.
High school junior from Fayetteville, Sarah Boulos, gets home from her extracurriculars well into the evening and hits the books for classes like
Pre-Calc, which is one of my harder classes, and A-Push, which is by far my hardest. I actually have a midterm in that tomorrow.
Her SAT prep book from earlier this year sits on the kitchen table, but she might be able to simply throw it out, not because she already took the test, but because the test itself is getting a makeover. Gone are the days of obscure vocabulary fill-in-the-blank questions. Instead, College Board is opting for longer reading passages, math problems with more words, and an essay section that is now optional. Dr. Tracy Jackson is supervisor of counseling in the Syracuse City Schools. She is in charge of helping middle and lower income students in Syracuse with the many issues they face preparing for standardized tests. She feels the new SAT might make it easier on students from certain backgrounds.
The hopes is that it'll be a little more inclusive and include all students from all backgrounds, and again, with it being related more to curriculum, that all students will have a better chance at succeeding on the test.
To learn more about the way the new SAT is affecting students in the Syracuse City Schools, we took to the Syracuse Institute of Technology to hear from one of their best. Aspiring teacher and Syracuse Institute of Technology junior Solomon Lawrence will be taking the test later this year. He doesn't think the changes will help him.
The time restriction already made it hard, and now that it's more just a little deeper thinking, your deeper thinking is like on a time restriction, and that's always been tough for me, and I think that's going to be the toughest part about it.
For Citrus TV News, I'm Rob Romano.
After the break, we'll take a look as the campaign trail heads to South Carolina.
And how one company is getting close to sending tourists to the edge of space.
Syracuse saw quite a bit of snow this weekend and more is on its way. Currently it is 22 degrees with winds coming in from the southeast at 17 miles per hour. Find out when the snow is going to start falling again by staying tuned to Citrus TV News.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
The Republican debate on Saturday night was the most heated yet, as Donald Trump accused Ted Cruz of being the single biggest liar and blamed President George W. Bush for the World Trade Center attacks.
Marco Rubio also attacked Ted Cruz for not speaking Spanish.
Today, Jeb Bush will be joined by his brother for the first time on the campaign trail.
In the polls, Clinton and Trump still hold leads in South Carolina, while Sanders has pulled nearly even with Clinton in Nevada.
Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia died in his sleep this past Saturday while on a hunting trip in Texas.
Scalia was a notable conservative and the longest-serving justice on the active court.
Democrats are pushing for an Obama presidency nomination, while Republicans have called for a delay until the next presidency.
Virgin Galactic is rolling out a new space tourism vehicle.
The Spaceship Two is predicted to be complete by the end of this month.
The vehicle is designed to take passengers to the edge of space.
And it can carry up to 6 passengers, but must be flown by 2 pilots.
The aircraft can reach altitudes above 62 miles.
Galactic had previously built a version of Spaceship Two, but it was destroyed in test flight back in October of 2014.
And a 25-year-old woman has accused former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer of assault.
The victim says Spitzer choked her in a New York City hotel.
Spitzer has not been charged, but the New York Police Department is investigating the matter.
And this isn't Spitzer's first controversy. He was forced to resign as governor in 2008 during a prostitution scandal. "22 people are dead and 8 presumed dead after 2 Syrian hospitals and a school building were targeted by airstrikes this morning. One of the hospitals, a women's and children's hospital, was struck twice. The other hospital was supported by Doctors Without Borders.
A Doctors Without Borders spokesperson says she believes the attacks were carried out by the Syrian government-led coalition.
And police say 4 Americans were arrested in Bahrain over the weekend.
Among the arrested are journalists accused of entering Bahrain under false pretenses and participating on attacks on police.
A police report says the case has been referred to a public prosecutor.
The U.S. Embassy in Bahrain is aware of the situation but says they are unable to comment.
And 2 men opened fire at an Israeli forces at the Damascus Gate in Jerusalem's Old City late Sunday.
According to an Israeli police spokesman, no one was hurt in the shooting and the 2 attackers were shot and killed.
The attacker's identity is still unknown.
Earlier this month, another attack at the Damascus Gate left 1 Israeli police officer dead. Well, the Salt City lived up to its name this weekend as many people de-iced their walkways after this weekend's snowstorm.
And Rebecca Castor is here to tell us more about this awful weather.
Thanks, Josh and Catherine. Our current temperature map shows that temperatures have dropped this week, specifically on the East Coast. You'll notice that southern states, North Carolina and Virginia, are even experiencing temperatures in the low 30s. This is from Winter Storm Olympia that is slowly spreading snow through the south and the northeast. Various winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, and freezing rain advisories have been issued by the National Weather Service, extending from Georgia to Maine. Our Doppler radar shows light snow coming our way. We can expect flakes to start falling around 10 p.m. tonight, and as temperatures rise slightly through the night, the snow will turn to ice. We'll start seeing freezing rain going into Tuesday morning. We can expect temperatures to be about 36 degrees tomorrow morning, and the rain isn't expected to turn into snow until late afternoon, so you'll want to grab your raincoat tomorrow morning. And with 10-mile-per-hour winds, you may want to leave your umbrella behind because it won't be much help to you as wind speeds pick up throughout the day. Tomorrow's high will be 39 degrees, and snow in the evening will lead to lingering snow showers Tuesday night. Wednesday, we have a high of 32 degrees and a 50% chance of snow showers. Thursday, we'll have snow. We will not have snow, but as we'll have the snow, we will not have the snow. Friday, we have a 50% chance of snow showers, and on Saturday, a 60% chance of light rain.
Thank you, Rebecca. So tomorrow you're saying the temperatures could be above freezing. What's that going to look like with snow and rain in the mix? What's that going to be like?
It's going to be weird. Like sometimes when you go outside, you're going to have the rain. Like hours later, it's going to be snow. So you really you got to prepare for both. I would suggest bringing a raincoat and also having your heavy jacket.
I know this is looking kind of far ahead, but Saturday we have another big game in the Dome. Any idea of what I should be wearing?
Yeah, Saturday we're going to have some light rain. It's going to be a lot warmer, so we may not have snow. We're not expecting snow. So I would definitely bring your raincoat to the game and go and cheer on the Cuse.
Great, thanks so much, Rebecca. Coming up next, the film that took the top prize at the box office may surprise you.
And a famous store is in deep trouble. We'll be right back.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right into your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
An emergency proclamation regarding Zika and other mosquito-borne viruses is in effect in Hawaii. Hawaii's governor says the proclamation is a preventative measure to guard against the viruses. This action follows the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's recent decision to take emergency steps to prepare for the risk of Zika. Meanwhile, President Obama is hoping to take a trip to Cuba before the end of his term. Aides are worried introduction of Zika in Cuba could pose a threat to the president. And heart health could hold the key to decreasing or even preventing dementia. The New England Journal published their findings, which studied more than 5,000 people's hearts in detail since 1948. Increased physical activity, eating a heart-healthy diet, and being socially active were some of the things linked to the 20% decline in rates of dementia. And IKEA is now at the center of a report published over the weekend accusing the furniture giant of avoiding a $1.1 billion in taxes. The report studied their stores in Europe between 2009 to 2014. And the Green Party in the European Parliament published the report claiming that countries like Spain and Belgium are likely losing between $8 and $11 million in taxes. The European Commission said they would study the report.
And moving to entertainment news, the newly released film Deadpool is already breaking records. The superhero movie set the box office record for an R-rated film's opening weekend with a total of $135 million in sales. The record was previously held by 50 Shades of Grey with about $85 million. Kung Fu Panda 3 came in second this weekend, and the comedy How to Be Single placed third. And Leonardo DiCaprio is getting closer to winning his first Oscar. The actor took home the award for Best Actor last night at the BAFTAs for his role in The Revenant. The film won 5 different trophies at the award show, including Best Picture. Other winners include Brie Larson and Kate Winslet. Actors also took the opportunity to speak on the issue of diversity in films.
I think it's important to have all people represented in our entertainment. Entertainment is something that brings us together, and to be a part of that and to see yourself within that. And I'm not just talking about the color of skin, I'm talking about sexuality, personality, and mentality, these different things that we can relate to. So that means writing more interesting stories, go into the corners of the world to find these stories that are from a more diverse background, and trying as much as possible to get the majority used to this. So I think people are on board, and most people are ready to really push this forward.
Awards season continues tonight with the Grammys. LL Cool J is hosting the ceremony, highlighted by performances from Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, and Adele. The cast of the Broadway musical Hamilton is also expected to go live from Richard Rogers Theater. One of the most anticipated performances is Lady Gaga's tribute to the late David Bowie. The ceremony will begin at 8 p.m. tonight on CBS. And now we'll toss things over to Ben Roth with sports.
Coming up in sports, there was no shortage of Valentine's Day action on the Hill yesterday, with both men and women's basketball taking the court. Not to mention the men's lacrosse team hit the turf for their season opener over the weekend. All that and more after the break.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
For the first time since December, the men's basketball team is back in the running for the AP Top 25 poll. The Orange received 17 votes after rolling over 7-17 Boston College yesterday, winning by double digits. But it wasn't as easy a victory as you might think. Out of the Orange, getting ready for the game. And these are the wrong highlights. Michael Benajay drains the three from the corner. Tyler Roberson passes to Michael Benajay. He puts it in. And women's basketball. Women's basketball was also in action yesterday. Behind guard Alexis Peterson's game-high 16 points, the Orange squeaked past the NC State Wolfpack 55-52. SU was down by 4 with less than 5 minutes remaining, but Peterson put the team on her back and exploded for an 8-0 run to give the Orange the lead for good. Junior center Brianna Day was also an integral part in the victory, posting her 6th double-double of the season while scoring 14 points with 12 rebounds. The win was the Orange's 6th straight, and they have now reached the 20-win plateau 7 years in a row. Syracuse will put its winning streak to the test when they welcome number 10 Florida State to the Dome on Thursday. The game will wrap up SU's regular season home slate. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. From Syracuse basketball to Syracuse lacrosse, the Orange welcomed in-state foe Siena into the Dome Saturday for the 2016 season opener. The Q starts the season ranked 7th in the nation despite the familiar names of Kevin Rice, Randy Stotts, and Henry Schoonmaker having graduated. One familiar face is Dylan Donahue. He's the leading offensive man for the Orange, and he would get the scoring started early in this one, just 2 minutes into the game, puts the ball on the ground, finds the back of the net. That was one of his 4 goals on the day. Dylan Donahue to Jordan Evans in the second half. Evans finds the back of the net. That would put Syracuse up 6-0. Look at that pretty play. Jordan Evans, a sight to see for Syracuse fans. He's been hurt these past couple of years. And then with a man up, 10 minutes into the third quarter, senior Tim Barber finds the net. That would put Syracuse up 12-1. Tim Barber had 3 assists on the day along with his 2 goals. After a Siena goal that made the Cuse lead 14-3, Derek Joujot finds the back of the net. He puts Syracuse up 15-3 as SU would steamroll Siena in their season opener 18-5. John Desko has now won 17 of his 18 season openers as head coach of the Orange. While men's lacrosse won their season opener, Stephen Conowitz is here to tell us how the women's lacrosse team fared in their season debut. Guys, Josh and Catherine, although there is snow on the ground, spring training is just 2 days away. USA Today released their projections that had the Mets finishing with 87 wins in second place to the Washington Nationals, and the New York Yankees finishing 4th place with 83 wins.
So looking forward to spring training for the Mets and the Yankees, what do you expect to see? What are the important stories we should be following as this goes on?
Some of the important stories, the Mets have a slew of young starting pitching. So one of the storylines is going to be if they negotiate contract extensions with any of their top starters. Today, Matt Harvey said he's open to a contract extension, which is rare given that he's a Scott Boras client and he doesn't like to negotiate long-term deals.
And the Orange, they're headed to my home state on Wednesday to play Louisville. What's the chances looking like for the Orange then?
It's going to be a tough game. Louisville runs a full-court press, and that's going to give the Orange fits as Miami did to them early on in the season. Frank Howard's going to get a good chance to play in this game to give Michael Benajay a spell because it's going to be a tiring game for the Orange.
And we saw in the lacrosse highlights, Jordan Evans wearing the ever so important number 22. He had a goal. You mentioned he's been injured. Do you think this is the year he can really turn it around?
I think he's really going to fire on all cylinders in this season. As you mentioned, he was given number 22 as a freshman. That's a lot of pressure to put on a freshman. So he's now put all the injuries behind him. He's set for a big season.
Very nice. Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. Coming up after the break, we'll have a photo that'll warm even the coldest of hearts.
You're going to want to see it? Stay tuned.
Commanding 8-goal lead.
The weekend, usually, is a time to relax and unwind from the pressures of work and school. Unfortunately, the weekend is also a time for many people to abuse drugs and alcohol. Listen to the words some people use when they talk about the good time they had over the weekend. They say, "I went to a party Friday night and got plastered," or "Saturday night, I was really wasted." Maybe they didn't have such a good time after all.
This message furnished by the NCAA.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
So Rebecca, we're going to be getting snow tonight. How much is it looking like that's going to be sticking on the ground for tomorrow morning?
Yep, snow flurries are expected to start falling about 10 p.m. tonight. We should be getting less than an inch because temperatures are going to start slightly rising throughout tonight, getting up to like 33, 34. So that's not going to cause it to be snow. It's going to start causing it to be ice, and then we'll have some freezing rain going in tomorrow morning.
So with that freezing rain tomorrow morning, what should we be looking for as we wake up and head out to school and to jobs and stuff like that?
Yep, you're going to have the rain falling down tomorrow morning, and then as we go throughout the day, it's going to start getting colder again, so it'll turn into snow. So by late afternoon tomorrow, you can expect the rain to turn into snow flurries.
And now you said we're supposed to be above freezing tomorrow. Looking on later into this week, are we still going to stay above freezing, or are we going to be dropping back down to those frigid temperatures?
Yep, we're seeing really like highs are in the 40s and lows are in the teens. So it's going to be very all throughout the week. We do have a high of 40 this week, so you can look forward to that.
Thank you, Rebecca. Well, Valentine's Day was yesterday, and one Pennsylvania hospital took the holiday to heart.
That's right. Newborns at Pennsylvania's Washington Hospital were decked out in red hats and tucked in envelopes created just for them.
Volunteers from the American Heart Association knit the hats for all babies born in February at participating hospitals. The program is called Little Hats, Big Hearts.
It raises awareness for heart disease in addition to celebrating Valentine's Day.
That's all for our show tonight. For more of the latest news, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and like our page on Facebook. I'm Josh Bazan.
And I'm Katherine Robinson. Thanks for watching us and have a great night, Syracuse.